Magandang buhay mga bata! Tara, samahan ninyo akong matuto kasama si
Teacher Aika, your online teacher. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell for more videos. Thank you! Matatag Curriculum, Mathematics Grade 4, Quarter 3, Lesson 5. Our topic for today is about addition of dissimilar fractions. This is Teacher Aika, your online teacher. Let's start! Learning competencies and objectives. Number 1, add dissimilar fractions using models. Number 2, add dissimilar fractions. 2.1, 2 proper fractions. 2.2, 2 mixed numbers. And 2.3, a mixed number and a proper fraction. Day 1 and 2. Let's have first a short review. Activity 1, Modeling Equivalent Fractions. Instructions: using the fraction models, shade the part that corresponds to the fraction. Also, shade the corresponding part that is equivalent to the fraction on the left. Short review, activity number 2. Instructions: identify the fraction equivalent to the given fraction. 2/7, 6/8, and 4/5. Here's the activity 2 solution for row 1. For row 2, row 3, lesson purpose, activity 5, sharing my piece of pie. Let learners study the problem below. Materials: 4 cutouts of fraction disc. See figures below for reference. A ruler, a pencil, and crayons. And this is what it looks like. Situation: Anna, Ben, Claire, and Dan each have a whole pie. They decided to cut their pies. Anna cuts it into 2 equal parts, Ben into 3 equal parts, and Claire and Dan into 4 equal parts. Anna will share 1/2 of her pie. Ben will share 1/3 of his pie. Claire will share 1/4 of her pie. And Dan will share 2/4 of his pie. Instructions: let learners model the fractions in the situation above by shading the parts in the cut-outs. And here are the answers. Anna will share 1/2 of her pie. Ben will share 1/3 of his pie. Claire will share 1/4 of her pie. And last, Dan will share 2/4 of his pie. Here are the guide questions. Number 1, arrange the shares from least to greatest. The answer, 1/4, 1/3, 1/2, and 2/4. Number 2, which of them has equivalent shares and why? The answer, Anna and Dan have equivalent shares because 1/2 is equal to 2/4. Both simplify to the same fraction. Third, what will be the total parts of the pie that Claire and Dan will share? The answer, add Claire's share 1/4 and Dan's share 2/4. So 1/4 plus 2/4 is equal to 3/4. Therefore, the answer is 3/4. Fourth, what will be the total parts of the pie that Anna and Dan will share? The answer, add Anna's share 1/2 and Dan's share 2/4. Since 1/2 is equal to 2/4, the total is 2/4 plus 2/4 is equal to 4/4 is equal to 1. The answer, 1 whole pie. Fifth, what will be the total parts of the pie that Anna and Ben will share? The answer, add Ben's share 1/3 and Claire's share 1/4. Find the LCD of 3 and 4. The answer is 12. 1/3 is equal to 4/12 and 1/4 is equal to 3/12. Then add 4/12 plus 3/12 is equal to 7/12. The answer, 7/12. Subtopic number 1, adding dissimilar fractions using models. Dissimilar fractions are fractions that have different denominators. Because the denominators are not the same, the fractions represent parts of wholes that are divided into different sized pieces. Example number 1, what is the sum of 1/2 and 1/3? And here's the solution. Equation math, add 1/2 and 1/3. We also have equivalent fractions. So the answer is 5/6. Example number 2, add 6/8 plus 1/4. And here's the equation math. Add 6/8 and 1/4. The answer is 8/8 or 1. Example number 3, what is the sum of 1/2 and 2/3? Solution, equation math, add 1/2 and 2/3. We also have the equivalent fractions. So therefore, the answer is 1 and 1/6 or 7/6. Example number 4. What is the sum of 2 and 1/4 and 3 and 1/3? Here's the solution. Equation math. Just add 2 and 1/4 and 2 and 1/3. The answer, 4 and 7/12. So look at the picture. The blue vertical line is used as a guide to locate the equivalent fractions. It is the last row that 14 and 13 could be renamed using the same denominator. Example number 5. Add 1 and 2/5 plus 1/2. Equation math, and the total is 1 and 9/10. Adding dissimilar fractions. Number 1, using fraction strips and crayons, shade the part that corresponds to fractions below. Cut these parts and paste them into the addition mat. Number 2, get the sum of the dissimilar fractions. Show your work. Number 3, add the following fractions. And number 4, if the sum is an improper fraction, convert it to a mixed number. Here's number 1, 1/5 plus 2/3. Number 2, 1/6 plus 2/3. Number 3, 2 and 4/10 plus 1/5. Number 4, 4 and 3/4 plus 3 and 3/8. Here's the answer key for numbers 1 to 4. Learners' takeaways. Ask learners 3 important concepts they have learned in adding dissimilar fractions using fraction strips or disc. Let them start with the phrase, I learned that in adding dissimilar fractions. Answer this in your notebook. Reflection on learning. For subtopic number 1, here's the problem. Regine added 2 and 3/10 and 3 and 4/5. She got a sum of 6 and 1/10. Is she correct? Show your fraction strips that Regine's answer is correct. Do this in your notebook. And here is the solution. The final answer is 6 and 1/10, meaning Regine is correct. Day 3 to 4. Subtopic number 2. Adding dissimilar fractions. 2 proper fractions, 2 mixed numbers, and a mixed number and a proper fraction. Activity number 3. Think, pair, share. Let the learners communicate and collaborate with a partner on explaining and identifying equivalent fractions. A. with your assigned partner, give 3 fractions equivalent to the given fraction. Unlocking content area vocabulary. List common multiple. Least common multiple, or LCM, is the smallest number that is both a multiple of 2 given numbers. Here's example. Number 1, 3 sixths. Number 2, 2 eighths. Number 3, 12 36ths. Answer this in your notebook. Activity number 3, think, pair, share. Let learners communicate and collaborate with a partner on explaining and identifying equivalent fractions. Letter B, find the missing number to complete the pairs of equivalent fractions. Do this in your notebook. Activity 3, answer. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Activity 4, drill. Similar fraction facts. Using flashcards, let learners recall how to add similar fractions. 2 proper fractions, 2 mixed numbers, a mixed number and a proper fraction, a whole number and a proper fraction, and a whole number and a mixed number. Activity number 6, let learners review the concept of multiples of a number using the concept of skip counting and using the definition of a multiple of a number. Instructions. Given the following number pairs, list down 10 multiples of each number in increasing order. Then, circle all common multiples and write them in the common multiples column. The first item is done for you. Number pair 2 and 3. First 10 multiples. Multiples of 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Multiples of 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, and 30. Therefore, their common multiples are 6, 12, and 18. And here are the answers. We have the number pair on the first column. On the second column, we have the first 10 multiples. And in the last column, common multiples. For 2 and 3, the common multiples are 6, 12, and 18. For number 2, 3, and 4, the common multiples are 12 and 24. For number 3, 2, and 5, the common multiples are 10 and 20. For 3 and 5, the common multiples are 15 and 13. For the last one, 4 and 8, the common multiples are 8, 16, 24, 32, and 40. Here are the guide questions. Number 1. In the number pair 2 and 3, which common multiple is the least? The answer, the least common multiple or LCM is 6. Number 2, which common multiple of 3 and 4 is the least? How about 2 and 5? And 3 and 5? The answer, 3 and 4, least common multiple is 12. 2 and 5, least common multiple is 10. And 3 and 5, least common multiple is 15. Third, can you explain how we were able to get the least common multiple of 2 and 3 without listing their common multiples? 3 and 4, 2 and 5, 3 and 5. The answer, to find the LCM, list the multiples of both numbers and identify the smallest common multiple between the two lists. Fourth, what is the least common multiple of 4 and 8? The answer, the least common multiple of 4 and 8 is 8. Example number 1, what is the sum of 1/2 and 1/3? We have here the equation math and guide questions. What is the least common multiple of 2 and 3? Observe the sum of 1/2 and 1/2, 5/6. How is the denominator of the sum related to the LCM of 2 and 3? Using LCM of the denominators or least common denominator, add 1/2 plus 1/3. Solution. Step 1. Determine the LCD of the given fractions. The LCD is 6, that is 2 times 3. Step 2. Use the LCD to make the given fractions similar. Step 3. Add the similar fractions. The answer is 5/6. Example 2. Add 6/8 and 1/4. Solution. Step 1. Determine the LCD of the given fractions. The LCD is 8. Step 2. Use the LCD to make the given fractions similar. And step 3, add the similar fractions. Therefore, the answer is 8/8 or 1. Example number 3, what is the sum of 1/2 and 2/3? Solution, step 1, determine the LCD of the given fractions. The LCD is 6. Step 2, use the LCD to make the given fractions similar. And step 3, add the similar fractions. Therefore, the answer is 1 and 1/6. Example number 4. What is the sum of 2 and 1/4 and 3 and 1/3? Solution. Step 1. Determine the LCD of the given fractions. The LCD is 12. Step 2. Use the LCD to make the given fractions similar. Step 3. Add the similar fractions. Therefore, the answer is 5 and 7/12. Example number 5, add 1 and 2/5 plus 1/2. Solution, step 1, determine LCD of the given fractions. The LCD is 10. Step 2, use the LCD to make the given fractions similar. Step 3, add the similar fractions. Therefore, the answer is 1 and 9/10. For our lesson activity, let learners be more familiar with the procedures for adding dissimilar fractions to proper fractions, to mixed numbers, and a mixed number and a proper fraction. Sample activity: find the sum of the following. If the sum is an improper fraction, convert it to a mixed number. Here's the lesson activity, numbers 1 to 10. For our answer key, for numbers 1 to 10. Another lesson activity: give this activity to test the conceptual and procedural understanding of learners in adding dissimilar fractions. Fill me up. Instructions: fill up the following to make the procedures correct. For numbers 1 and 2, do this in your notebook. Day 4. Formative assessment. Instructions: find the sum of the following. Determine the letter corresponding to each sum in the decoder. Write your solution in the second column. And here are the answers. And here are the rubrics for the activities in this lesson. And that wraps up today's lesson. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for tuning in.